global news update on top accolade news. The headlines: Greenland votes on independence. Romania's far right faces tight deadline to find new presidential candidate. U.S. small business confidence falls for third consecutive month. Ukrainian and U.S. officials hold key talks in Saudi Arabia. In politics, Greenland votes on independence. Greenland is heading to the polls in a crucial election that could reshape its future, with independence from Denmark now a key topic of debate. In recent years, the island has gained global attention due to President Donald Trump's repeated interest in acquiring Greenland, heightening discussions on its relationship with Denmark. While most political parties in Greenland now support eventual independence, opinions differ on how quickly this should happen. Some push for a gradual transition, while others, like the opposition party, want immediate action. Despite a majority of Greenlanders supporting independence, concerns about economic stability and the potential for foreign interference, especially from the US, remain significant. Still in politics, Romania's far right faces tight deadline to find new presidential candidate. Romania's far-right opposition has just a few days to find a replacement presidential candidate after pro-Russian Calin Georgescu's bid was rejected due to funding irregularities and allegation of Russian interference. The 62-year-old former candidate, who ran as an independent last year, has had his candidacy banned ahead of the May election rerun, triggering protests and clashes with police. With the court's decision likely to be upheld, ultra-nationalist parties like the AUR and POT must quickly find a viable candidate, possibly with Georgescu's endorsement. Political analysts note that while Georgescu remained popular with votes, his support may not guarantee a smooth transition of votes. The deadline to submit presidential bids is March 15, leaving the far right with little time to act. Shifting focus to economy, U.S. small business confidence falls for third consecutive month. U.S. small business confidence has dropped for the third straight month in February, reflecting growing uncertainty surrounding the Trump administration's trade policy. The National Federation of Independent Business reports that its small business optimism index fell 2.1 points to 100.7, erasing much of the gains seen after Donald Trump's election victory. Small business owners are increasingly concerned about on-again and off-again tariffs and the unpredictability of trade policies, which has made it difficult for businesses to plan. Additionally, more businesses are raising prices, signaling rising inflation concerns. With few expecting economic improvement, the outlook for U.S. small businesses appears increasingly bleak. Moving to international relations, Ukrainian and U.S. officials hold talks in Saudi Arabia. Ukrainian and U.S. officials are engaged in high-stake talks in Saudi Arabia, focusing on a critical minerals deal and exploring ways to end the ongoing conflict with Russia. The discussions come amid rising tension following a major Ukrainian drone strike in Moscow that has killed at least 3 people, damaged buildings, and disrupted airport operation. Ukrainian officials hope that the attack will pressure Russian President Vladimir Putin to accept Kyiv's peace proposal, which are expected to be presented during the Jeddah talks. This meeting marks a major first dialogue between Ukrainian and U.S. representatives since a tense and public exchange between President Zelensky and Trump at the White House on February 28. You are watching the Global News Updates on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. In health, Pope Francis' health improves. Pope Francis received encouraging news from his doctors on Tuesday as they upgraded his prognosis, confirming he is no longer in imminent danger following his battle with double pneumonia. The 88-year-old, who has been hospitalized for nearly a month, remains stable and has shown significant improvement in recent days. However, doctors have decided to keep him in the hospital for further treatment and rehabilitation. While still using supplemental oxygen and a ventilation mask, Francis' condition is being closely monitored. Despite his health challenges, the Pope continues to stay informed on global matters, including expressing condolences for the floods in his native Argentina. The Vatican also denied rumors surrounding his hospitalization, reaffirming that he remains active in his role. Moving to conflict. Massive drone attack on Moscow kills 3. A large-scale drone attack launched by Ukraine on Moscow has left at least 3 people dead and 18 injured, marking one of the deadliest strikes on the Russian capital. The attack targeted the Moscow region, where casualties included 2 employees at a food company, both of which died from drone debris. Authorities reported that 91 out of the 337 drones were intercepted with damages on residential buildings, cars, and infrastructure. Moscow's airport also imposed flight restriction and a train network was temporarily halted. The assault occurred just before high-stake talk between Ukraine and the US and Saudi Arabia aimed at ending the war. The situation continues to evolve as the conflict escalates. In entertainment, Indonesian TikTok has sentenced to almost 3 years for blasphemy over Jesus' comment. An Indonesian TikToker has been sentenced to nearly 3 years in prison after making a controversial comment on a live stream telling a picture of Jesus on her phone to get a haircut. The Muslim transgender woman, who has over 442,000 followers, was convicted under Indonesia's Electronic Information and Transactions Law, which criminalizes online hate speech and defamation. The court ruled her comment could disrupt public order and religious harmony. Human rights groups, including Amnesty International, have condemned the ruling, calling it a violation of freedom of expression. The case has sparked debate over Indonesia's restrictive laws on social media speech and critics urging for reform. Now in sport, Manchester United unveils plan for £2 billion 100,000-seater stadium near Old Trafford. Manchester United has announced plans to build the UK's largest football stadium, a £2 billion 100,000-seater arena near the current home at Old Trafford. The iconic new venue will feature groundbreaking designs, including a massive public plaza and 3 towering masts. The project, expected to take 5 years, will replace Old Trafford, the club's home since 1910. Despite the £1 billion debt, United's leadership is optimistic about financing the stadium, citing the potential for significant economic and job creation benefits. While the move is a bold step towards modernization, some fans have raised concerns about the ticket prices and maintaining the stadium's atmosphere. However, some figures support the vision, urging the club to build a state-of-the-art facility fit for the future. That concludes our global news updates for today. Stay tuned for more global news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojorume Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.